Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
His authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, folks. Today's court hearing is absolutely wild. We got Matthew Aldridge, or at least that's what the papers say. But the guy at the podium is playing the ultimate I don't have a name act. He calls himself an attorney of fact, which, spoiler alert, isn't even a real thing. These sovereign citizen types always try to claim the court has no power over them. But here's the truth. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone in their area, period. And this judge? Not buying for a second. He shuts the guy down in the most epic way, completely outsmarting him by the end. Let's dive in.
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent to the hearing.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
I do not.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge. Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me. Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
Now, this guy actually hands the judge a piece of paper claiming it gives him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. Real attorneys? They're licensed by the state and follow actual legal procedures. This, just DIY legal fantasy on a single piece of paper. Sovereign citizens love to argue about jurisdiction, like declaring themselves above the law actually works. Spoiler. It doesn't. Courts rely on real, established laws, and this judge isn't here to entertain nonsense. Seriously, is this whole sovereign citizen thing actually growing, or am I just stumbling across the weirdest cases? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for a plea day on this case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an article pre-trial?
To what?
Would that be an article pre-trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury. Certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you are wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. You will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are, in fact, Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right, to Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
The judge handles this lunatic like an absolute pro. Calm, composed, shutting down every stunt at every turn. The guy barely get a word in before the judge dismantles his laws piece by piece. At one point, the judge even said he can't utter his own name. Classic moment. Usually judges stay stoic, but this was just too good. Bottom line, these stunts? Totally pointless. And the courtroom isn't here for circus acts.
And we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. Trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are, in fact, Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper.
Sovereign citizens are something else. They think they can opt out of the legal system by claiming the government has no authority over them. They quote things like common law or the UCC, completely misusing these laws. But courts operate under federal, state, and local law. And there's zero loophole where you can just pick and choose the rules. Try and dodge taxes, dismiss tickets, or anything else with these tactics. Not only does it fail, it can make your legal problems worse. Honestly, are they trying to outsmart the system or just playing rebel? Either way, it's ridiculous and kind of sad. All right, guys, that wraps today's breakdown. If you enjoyed watching a sovereign citizen get completely shut down, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Courtroom madness never gets old.